What would you do if the man you trusted most, your best friend, looked you dead in the eye and told you your entire life was a lie? It was 2 a.m., the neon glow of the Open 24HR sign from the diner across the street, painting streaks across my kitchen window in downtown Chicago. Mark, my best man, my brother, sat opposite me, his face a mask of grim determination. He'd just dropped a bomb that shattered my world. She's been seeing someone, Alex, for months. It's David. David, my business partner. My stomach dropped faster than a lead weight in Lake Michigan. The air thickened, suffocating me. I felt the cold dread seep into my bones, a premonition of the abyss I was about to fall into. The words echoed, a relentless hammer against the fragile glass of my reality. Sarah, my wife of 10 years, the woman I'd built a life with, was a stranger. The humiliation was a physical blow, leaving me breathless. I remembered her late nights, the vague excuses, the sudden coldness in her touch. I'd dismissed them as stress, work, anything but this. Mark, seeing the shock on my face, laid out the details, each one a fresh stab. He'd seen them at the Peninsula Hotel bar, then leaving together, too close to intimate. He'd followed them once, to a discreet apartment building on North Michigan Avenue, David's building. Over the next few weeks, a chilling pattern emerged. Sarah became increasingly distant, her phone a constant companion, always face down, always locked. Her eyes, once warm and inviting, now held a calculating glint I'd never noticed. She'd snap at me for trivial things, pick fights, then retreat into a silent, icy shell. The woman I loved was gone, replaced by a manipulative stranger. I started noticing the small things. A receipt for a high-end restaurant I'd never been to, tucked into her purse. A text notification flashing on her screen, quickly dismissed from a contact simply labeled D, a faint scent of a cologne that wasn't mine on her clothes. Each discovery was a tiny shard of glass, embedding itself deeper into my heart. I felt myself breaking. The man who woke up every morning with a purpose, who saw a bright future, was crumbling. I'd sit in my office, staring at the skyline of Dallas, where we'd moved for my new job, and feel nothing but a hollow ache. The thought of confronting her, of tearing down the facade, terrified me. But the thought of living this lie of being a cuckold in my own home was worse. I knew I couldn't let this stand. The pain began to morph into something colder, harder, a resolve. Started gathering proof meticulously, silently. I installed a discreet camera in our living room, angled to capture the front door. I hired a private investigator, a former cop named Miller, who worked out of a nondescript office in a strip mall off Mockingbird Lane. Miller was a ghost, leaving no trace, but his reports were devastatingly clear. Photos of Sarah and David hand in hand, laughing, entering David's luxury condo building in Uptown. Timestamps, dates, locations. I even found a burner phone she kept hidden in a false bottom of her jewelry box, filled with their illicit texts. Their plans, their whispered affections. The evidence piled up, a mountain of betrayal. A revenge began to take shape, a complex web of legal and social traps. I consulted with a divorce attorney, a sharp-witted woman named Ms. Albright, whose office overlooked the bustling streets of downtown Dallas. She advised me on Texas's community property laws, on grounds for fault-based divorce, on how to protect my assets and ensure Sarah received nothing but what she legally deserved. I also started subtly spreading rumors within our social circle, planting seeds of doubt about Sarah's character, her recent erratic behavior. I made sure David's wife, a sweet, unsuspecting woman named Emily, heard whispers of his frequent late-night meetings. The public exposure was swift and brutal. I filed for divorce, citing adultery, and presented the mountain of evidence in court. The photos, the texts, the PI reports, it was undeniable. The judge, a stern woman with no patience for deceit, looked at Sarah with undisguised contempt. Simultaneously, Emily, armed with the anonymous tips I'd orchestrated, confronted David. Their marriage imploded publicly, a spectacular mess that reverberated through our shared professional and social circles. Sarah, stripped of her dignity, her reputation in tatters, found herself ostracized. Her friends vanished, her professional contacts dried up. The social media posts, once filled with her glamorous life, became a wasteland of silence. The final blow came when the judge awarded me full ownership of our shared assets, citing Sarah's egregious conduct. She was left with almost nothing, forced to move into a small rented apartment in a less desirable part of Dallas. David, facing a similar financial ruin and a ruined career, disappeared from the city. I saw Sarah once, months later, walking alone down a busy street, her shoulders slumped, her eyes vacant.